Okay. Hello? Hey, fellas, I did not expect myself to be in this position. Uh, if I'm a little nervous, I apologize in advance. Also, I did take the time to look through everything. I did write something out to fully show everything with receipts. So, also just to make sure I didn't miss anything. I'm also sorry if I smile. Like I just smile when I'm nervous. So, and laugh, but it's serious, and I want to preface that I'm just letting you know. So I'm gonna kind of read it. I'll go through the receipts. I really want to keep it just no he said, she said, very objective to the point. I also know the internet is a very tough place, and I believe it's kind of sucky that it was brought to the internet for every party involved. But okay. So to preface this, I never wanted to get publicly involved with this and wish to solve this privately. I'd already messaged the people involved to talk privately long before this, but unfortunately, it wasn't productive. I think it's reasonable for me to want to clear up any misunderstandings about me publicly when someone alleges false things about these situations and me as a person to thousands of people online. Jason had also said on his stream that details shouldn't be left out in regards to Sunny's clarification. So I'm going to try my best to put everything in there that applies to what was said about me. So I figured the best way to fully explain my side is to provide everything. I want to express my side as objectively as I can with no he said, she said. So I'll be providing receipts and only addressing what was spoken to me, from me, and about me. Sakura and I were acquaintances and became closer during the Japan trip. And then about a month after, we had a falling out. I also want to state that I reached out to Sakura months ago to talk after this falling out. And this was the only message I had received and how I responded. So in this screenshot, I wonder if I can zoom in. I'm sorry, I don't know how to use this. I had said, hey, this is also right after I got added on Twitter that she had unfollowed me. So I decided, let me message her because something is clearly not okay. Hey, I don't really know what's going on, but it feels like you kind of just stopped talking to me. So I would love to call/chat. I just want to make sure everything's good or make sure I haven't done anything to upset you. And then she responded, hey, everything is good between us and there's no bad blood at all. I just heard from a few people you talking poorly about me and how you've made others feel, and I personally just want to protect my peace. So I have distanced myself. I honestly don't think it was worth a conversation because I'm not mad at all, and I genuinely wish you the best and really enjoyed the time we spent together. I know you also saw that I was doing content with Sunny, even though I am not the most fond of how she can make others feel sometimes. It honestly comes from a profession work mindset, and I had never initiated content collabs with her. She just happened to come along, and I wanted to be mature about it. And then I said, I'm really confused because that's simply not true at all. I think there's a misunderstanding. I'd expressed to someone in a private conversation. I was worried you were upset about the partner clip and that I had felt distance. I wanted to talk to you after that and was advised by a mutual friend not to. I'm not sure how what I said was misconstrued as shit talk when I was just seeking on advice if I had been a bad friend for that slip up. I feel like I was there for you multiple times and comforted you as a friend, especially when it came to certain things you would tell me, and I've always been open and honest. I'm so sorry if I sound shaky. Open and express that I'm always there for communication. I think I'm really sad because there hasn't been any conversations and I'm left in the dark. I wanted to talk about this sooner, but now knowing this, I wish I reached out sooner. I think I would just like some clarity and clear up anything that has been miscommunicated. I would love to clear things up if you're willing to talk or call if you're free anytime. Just let me know what works for you. I'm not the best with my words, so I'd greatly appreciate that, and thanks for responding too. I had to work up my courage, haha, and sorry if this makes you anxious. And then I just said, I just really want to clear it up, but it's not in the screenshot. Oh, it's right here. I included the end. So that was the last text exchange between me and Sakura. And after that, we had not talked before or after that. I then said, I had no idea what she thought I said or who relayed this information to her, and it seemed like she fully believed what was being told to her about me instead of having an honest conversation. Let me zoom this back out. With me about it. I was very confused because I thought we were good friends after the Japan trip, and felt blindsided by the fact that she was fully committed to believing rumors instead of talking to me directly about what she had heard someone else claimed I had said about her. I also want to point out that throughout this situation, there's a consistent mystery source of information being fed to Sakura and Jason, the same reputable source that Jason refers to multiple times in his stream that contradicts what happened on my account, and they at no point ever explain who or what exactly this source is. I think if you want to get to the bottom of a conflict that stems from a he said, she said, it's important to pinpoint who exactly is saying what about who, because it will get out of hand into a game of telephone very quickly, especially when things being relayed or interpreted pessimistically. And then after Jason's stream last night, where he had implied Sunny and I were doing slanderous things behind the scene, I reached out to him to handle things privately, and this was the response. Hey, I think there's some severe misunderstandings, and if you're open to communication about it privately, I'm keeping the line open. I'm not one for airing out private conflicts, but insinuating drama publicly on your platform does put me in a position where I want to directly clear up any misunderstandings with you. And then he said, there's literal screenshots of you saying what I said on stream about me. And then I said, have you seen these screenshots and do you have them? Because I would like to see them. I think we need to be completely direct and upfront to clear up anything. Which then he didn't respond, which is also okay. I'm not owed a response. So then after that, I looked through all of my text history and Discord messages to make sure I wasn't misremembering. I also looked through Instagram, Twitter, and TikTok to make sure there's nothing I forgot about. But there's no screenshots of me saying I was trying to use him as my ticket to fame. He never provided these literal screenshots, so I have no idea what he was told or possibly shown, if at all. What Jason said about my ticket to get big has never been said by me. The statement is more of a he said, she said, so I will let you believe what you want. However, I want to repeat the point I made earlier. Jason and Sakura have put their entire trust into this reputable source, who he mentioned on his stream last night, that consistently makes contradicting points. Sakura claimed I had mean things to say about her, but I never said those things, and there's no receipts provided. And after speaking to my very close friends, including Daph, who said I could include her name in this, Daph had said she would back me up on that. I've never spoken ill of Sakura or Jason, and she's one of my closest friends, and I feel like if I were to say something, I would tell Daph, you know? But again, I've tried my best to always be respectful. I lost my place. But yeah, Jason said I told others I was using him for fame, but I also never said this, and there's no receipts either. As for who this person is, I don't know who for sure, and I think to fully clear the air, they need to confront whether or not this person is deliberately misrepresenting the situation. Now, talking about Jason stating that I was calling him weird and pressuring Sakura to take me to Japan. That is very untrue. I will be showing screenshots to further back up that I've never made him out to be a weirdo for Sakura to stay away from him. And for context for these screenshots, which I'll be showing everything in full. For context, during the beach stream, which was like a month before Japan or something, which is when he brought the brownies. For context, during the beach stream, Sakura had spoken to me about her relationship with Jason and told me things she was uncomfortable with, which is their private business that I will not elaborate. And I, as a girl and a friend at the time, wanted to reassure her. After the beach stream, she told me she was stressed about going to Japan. Oh my God. Sorry. Oh God. I'm sorry. Okay. Yeah. After the beach stream, she told me she was stressed about going to Japan and thought about canceling because of online hate and having only known Jason for a short amount of time. I asked her who all was going to Japan, and she said it was all men. I put redacted, so I just didn't want to say the names that were said, but you guys know who went to Japan. And so I asked if she was bringing someone to be there to support her, and she said she was going to have her manager, but would prefer to have a friend come, and then personally invited me. I never self-inserted. I have to, wait, what? Sorry. And then after that, we all ate dinner, and there was text messages about the dinner and beach stream with Asta, Sakura, and I. And at the dinner, it was Jason, John, Sakura, and I. In these texts, I was trying to be supportive and console Sakura, who had expressed discomfort with Jason at this time. I don't fault her for it because it's a very tricky and public situation she has to navigate carefully, and I don't think there's anything wrong with what she's saying. However, I was never the one who, at the forefront, purposely insinuated Jason was weird, which is what I'm addressing. So in these screenshots, this is right after the photo shoot stream. I can read it out. I made another group because I don't want to spam Anita. Are you all good, Sakura? We're at dinner all together. Shit is so funny. Oh, you let him join, aka, which was Jason. Yeah, because I don't think I could talk it out with Syanne there because I'm not the only one who thought it was weird. Yeah, just make sure he actually understands how it makes you feel. And I said, yeah, I tried my best without being too hostile, but I don't think I was getting the point across. Asta said, oh Lord. I said, because I don't know him enough, was definitely trying gentle parenting, but it was not working. Sakura says, dude, I raised my voice and John did the raise your voice gesture and I high-key saw red, which was this, like, tone it down. Yeah, he probably won't listen unless it's someone he knows, but I hope it did something because it's like an outside perspective. And I said, yeah, that pissed me off, referring to the hands. And then also says, the fuck, I'm happy I wasn't there. I would have whooped his ass. And I was just offering to be nice. And then also, God, I'm getting so many clips on my For You page and everyone hates the Syanne because we played defense. Crazy. Hey, this is giving the context to the dinner and me forcing myself and making Jason out to be a weirdo. We're going to grill him. We ain't his friends. I said, girl, I'm a chihuahua. I can grill in a moment, but OMG, or maybe it was private, like in a car. I wanted to call him out on it, but my mouth betrays me. Asta, please, need you here. And then, what? I'm tapped out for the night. When we were talking, I said, yeah, I see your point, but this is how I saw the situation. I was gentle parenting when I should have been mean. I just paid for dinner. Nah. Sakura, Jesus, we just got finessed. Asta, oh my God, how does he always come out on top in these situations? It's got to be a superpower, actually. And I put, I am a bitch. And then Asta put, what? Are you okay? And I was like, yeah, we need to debrief. Also have your shoes. End the conversation. So then this is a later conversation about after that, because they had a conversation after where we were saying that they just need to talk it out, talk things through. I'm getting the silent treatment from Jason. Live, laugh, love. OZ10. I said, nah, that's crazy. This is not in regards to that. And then, yeah, honestly, shitty communication is the worst. Yesterday, he said he was all about communication too. My ex used to read my texts and then forgot about me and forgot to answer. It's the worst feeling ever. Getting back to someone is about respect. This is the response. I said, from this, I think he just needed time to formulate his thoughts and respond to you in a proper manner. Yeah, but 3 hours. Asta, I don't think it's a bad answer, and sometimes people need to sit down and formulate a response like Syanne said. Men are also slower than us and a lot more dumb, so they actually need to sit down and not be distracted by other things. Yeah, that is true, but it's so easy to say things, and the real test will be how he acts. And I said, Eugene sometimes takes a whole day to formulate his thoughts. Since growing up, he never learned how to communicate. Always action over words. And I said, oh, here's a shoot. That's why you didn't respond. Not his fault. I said, did you feel relieved? Haha. This is a big one, just talking about it, and the response to that. So I don't think that's actually really needed. And then this is us once again, just saying communication, talk it through. Yes. And also once again, I'm providing receipts because it was accused of me that I was making him out to be a weirdo and pushing a narrative that he is uncomfortable or whatever. So this is just me clearing that I never did that. I was just trying to be there as a friend. And then I put here, I think it always helps to view it in a more positive way too, so I don't spiral. And then, yeah, this is what Asa said. I really think that you guys need to talk about any plans you guys have involving each other off stream before it happens to just make sure everyone's on the same page. He should have texted you as soon as he had the idea with the brownies and asked if it was a good idea to not and simply just fill you in. And I said, I think it'll help both of y'all's mental and to just set clear boundaries for when you're in stream. And then Asa put that and I said, yes. What this has to do is with the statement that I pushed myself to go to Japan and that I was making him out to seem weird. So this is just more of the screenshots from it. I don't know if I have to finish reading it, but hopefully the convo goes really well since it's just the two of y'all. Hope you can respect your boundaries. John should not be touching you. All of my messages, I would say, are not pointing him in a bad light. Hopefully the convo goes really well. I hope he can respect your boundaries too. Oh good, but he should say sorry to you directly, otherwise doesn't count in my eyes. As a cleanse, can receive one cute cat pic. And then that was the statement. Then these Discord screenshots of me talking about the beach stream. I was looking out for Sakura because she had confided in me at this point about her discomfort with the whole situation. I also blurred out whoever I was talking to. Yeah, TLDR. I was streaming Sakura in Austin. Jason self-invites himself at the end. Everyone is awkward. He was trolling, so we start trolling. And now I'm getting so much hate. And all I did was say his handwriting was like a 5-year-old and took his hand off Sakura's shoulder. God forbid I respect her boundaries and that she doesn't like PDA. Oh, Lordy, are you okay? That's kind of annoying. You're just having fun. And he invited himself. I feel like I'd have to mentally prepare for a stream with that man and his audience. I then inserted a TikTok screenshot of people telling me to kill myself. And I said I was definitely not prepared. And then what the fuck? At first I started to delete the comments, but then people were getting mad I did that, so I'm just letting it be. She asked if Sakura defended me. I said, I don't think so, but she's getting a ton of hate because she didn't have to. She said, I feel like it's super simple though to say, oh, that's my friend. Like she didn't know we'd be live and she was just helping me. She didn't know the co-text. Like, I'm sorry that's happening. And I said, we all three were streaming a photo shoot and he came at the end to deliver these brownies. It was just awkward since we were all cold and felt dirty from the beach. It's all 12-year-olds or something. It doesn't matter, but it makes me sad because it's like, come on now. Insert a screenshot of another person telling me to kill myself. Zoom in. It's almost done. What the fuck? Yeah, I mean, you probably know this, but they can't do anything to you and it's all empty, but it's annoying nonetheless and undeserved. And I said, yeah, it's okay because all the girlies will be there. So then, as you can see from the text, I let Sakura take the lead in how she felt about him and was consoling her. What Jason said on stream implied I put ideas about him in her head and him being weird when that wasn't the case. Like I said earlier, I don't hold her shaky sentiment towards Jason at this time as a big deal because she's navigating this turbulent public relationship at a young age. However, it's completely false to imply I had shoehorned myself into the Japan trip and was trying to paint a narrative that Jason was weird on my own. In regards to Sunny and I playing League together, we met during a photo shoot, talked, I apologized to her for having a misunderstanding, and quite frankly, even if she had something to say about me, I do not care. That won't take away from the fact that I think she's a cool girl who's also trying to navigate growing up, going to college, having friendships, and having an online job. I don't like the usage of she had something to say about Syanne because it is instigative and creates a narrative that doesn't help anybody. It doesn't help solve the issue of smoothing over conflict. I also wanted to say I never mentioned Sakura or Jason on stream and never tried to implicate them in any way. I have been silent and doing my own thing completely separate from them and their groups out of respect. If anything, for the past few months, I had been terrified of even confiding to friends about this because I had no idea how I've been extremely misrepresented through rumors and gossip and getting ghosted and cut off from Sakura and Jason. I also think both of them are young and learning how to navigate relationships while having a very public persona, so I don't fault Jason for making things public. However, I do think there is a lack of respect and grace for people's privacy because now that it's brought up on stream and to ensure I can fully explain my side of things, I have to publicly bring up all of these text messages that prove my point. This online drama affects not only me, but people around him, whether he realizes it or not, especially since now people can run with narratives about Sakura, himself, me, or anybody involved. I believe this was an actual conversation where both sides felt heard. This could have been handled easily behind the scenes. I also hope that moving forward, it's important not to place your trust in one source and instead make sure what you're hearing is reliable and not misrepresented, and then communicate with the other party involved, then use your own judgment to come to a conclusion about someone. At the end of this, I don't want to be involved. I don't want my name to be mentioned. I really wish they had just communicated these matters to me privately instead of going on stream multiple times, vaguely implying that I had done something awful to get blackballed. I hope if this matter is pushed further, it is done privately out of respect for all parties. Again, the string of chat that I just showed was to further show that I never insinuated Jason was weird or tried to paint him in a light that was bad. That was the point of the screenshot because that was a narrative that was pushed before Japan. So before Japan, that was the only conversation on that. But that's basically the statement that I did not do that. You can believe what you want. It's okay. If they don't want to talk in private, that's fine. That's pretty much it. So, yeah.